Hello. Today, I want to start by talking about basically opening your eyes to the things that we do every day that necessarily aren't correct or we even know why we do them. I just want to be able to open people's eyes to just some of the like simpler things in life that we do or things that we do that kind of come along with just being a human being, and we don't question it. We just go ahead and follow what the person in front of us is doing, and we do the same thing over and over and over again. But most of the time, doing things just because somebody else is doing them doesn't make it right. But it makes us feel comfortable in our society that we do things of this nature without questioning it. I just want to, I don't, I'm not trying to make a point by being like right or wrong about this, but it's more of just asking the questions. If you ask the questions, whatever you come out with, the answer that you come out with on the other side, I'm okay with, as long as you questioned it first and you came to your own conclusion that this is what you want to do. For example, baptizing a kid. Okay, so when you do a little bit of research into baptism and things of that nature, is when you find out it's more of an initiation into something. Well, what is that something? I did my own research. I looked into it, but do most people actually look into that before you just say, "Oh yeah, we got to baptize our child"? No, a lot of people just go ahead and do it because their parents did it and the parents before them did it, without actually questioning, what is this? Why am I doing this? Another one is circumcision. There's a big one because there really isn't a whole lot of data to support the fact that we circumcise our children. When you start, I started questioning when I had my son, and one of the things that I came up upon the first time you hear anything about circumcision is in the Jewish Bible. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, but what I'm trying to say is, if you're not Jewish, why are you doing it? What is the purpose? So when I spoke to the doctors in the hospital, none of them could really give me a straight answer as far as medically and health-wise would it be, is it smarter to circumcise? And they say, yes, there's a small amount of, very small percentages of children that are not circumcised that could catch an infection and things of that nature. Well, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not trying to give medical advice, but at the end of the day that's your child. You should at least ask these questions and find out, why are you doing this? I mean, in a society that we live in that there's a lot of Christian people, they believe that God is perfect, that he doesn't make mistakes, but yet at the same time you're circumcised. So which is it? Is he perfect? Did he make a mistake and that's why we got to fix the mistake he made or she made, whatever you believe in? So obviously there's something there that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense for just, it's like a popular thing to do, so everybody does it. Would it be a little more aesthetically pleasing? Maybe. I don't know, but the whole point is just asking questions and finding out why you're doing what you're doing. Even school, we send our children to school at such an early age. Here in America, it's like 6 years old. We send them to kindergarten, and from that point on, you start seeing that your child now has another influence in his or her life. And from this point on, you kind of got to share the spotlight. And it's not, maybe that's not a good way to put it as far as like sharing the spotlight, but basically you're sharing parenting. And now from this point on, not only are you parenting, but you also have to like cipher through the other messages that the kids getting in school, from their friends and things of that nature. And we all parent different. Most of the time, I think anyhow, I don't think any of us are good at parenting in reality. You know, we do the best that we can at parenting, but in the end, we all gonna mess it up. But the bottom line is now we got to deal with other people's parenting. You know, if one deal, one is with Chris believes in Christmas, the other one don't. Whatever the thing is, now you got to deal with these circumstances coming into your home. Now on the other side of things, because I'm a very like proportionate type of thinker, is that yeah, these things that are coming from school that you having to deal with are good teaching tools. They're lessons that you could teach your kid when they learn other things than what you teach them. So I mean, but in the end, school's an institution. They take in a lot of money every year. Obviously, the teachers don't make a whole lot of that money. So, again, it's just basically getting your child out of your home and going into one of these institutions. And then again, it's questioning that. You know, I'm not saying don't send your child to school, but at the same token, ask him why we doing this. Is this beneficial for your child? Of course, school is beneficial for your child, but look into it. Look into why schooling became a thing, and you go down this rabbit hole of all these facts that you probably never even thought about. Let's talk about another institution, prison. You know, we know for a fact that most people that we send to prison usually come back and go back into the system and do the same stuff again. Why? Because it's designed that way. We need, in order for you to have criminal justice, in order for you to have police officers, lawyers, judges, and all of that, you got to have criminals. So if you don't have criminals, there's no money coming in. So criminals, we need the criminals in order to have cops. We need cops. It's a interchangeable system that needs each other in order for it to work. So we gotta demonize another person so we could throw them in jail and make money off of them. And then while they're in jail, they do all these things that basically they build. I think one of them is license plates and things of that nature, and then they get a few quarters an hour or something, and not a whole lot of money they get for while they're being in there working, and then we turn around and it goes into a company and they sell it and make money off of it. So I believe they do clothes in there too. So again, it's like it's an institution that we're like, okay, yeah, you know, we need to throw the bad people in jail, but these bad people are just like me and you, with their parents, you know, they're someone's children, someone's cousin, somebody's brother, somebody's son. But in reality, are they bad? No, they're not bad people. Most of them aren't bad people. It's just the environment they put in. So the way when you start asking questions, and there's a good movie on Netflix, I think it's called The 13th. It's a documentary about how the prison system works and how is the institution is another institution to basically, you need these guys or women to keep coming back to these jails. So it's a way to break down a human being. There's levels of breaking down a human being, from mental point of view to physical point of view. But you really, if you break down somebody mentally, you own them. And that's what the system does. The system breaks people down in a certain type of way that they know these people, after they leave, they don't give them much of a chance for them to actually survive. And actually, I shouldn't say survive. I should say thrive. They might survive, but they'll be back in here again. And it's one of those things. It's like the other thing, like the war on drugs. So we declared war on drugs, and we throwing people in jail and all of this. So now, we're in 2020. There's a lot of states that have legalized the use of marijuana. Well, but yet the people that are in jail in these states for marijuana possession aren't getting released because now marijuana, that's not a, what they did at that point was a crime, but now it's not a crime anymore. So shouldn't you let them leave? Like, I understand if someone got caught with crazy amounts of marijuana, or whatever used to be, whatever was illegal at that point that now is legal. If they had a huge amount of it, okay, I get it. But for small amounts, for like personal use, or very small distribution, should we throw them in jail for the next whatever amount of time? I don't think so. That's not a bad person. I mean, that's just a person trying to feed their family, or whoever, whatever they're trying to do with their money. So if, I mean, I just found out Oregon is trying to, it just pass a law that all drugs are legal there. I'm really curious to see what happens. Again, it's not a point of view of being right or wrong. It's a point of view of questioning what's in front of you. Why is this like this way? Why is that way? I mean, like, this a ton. I'm Puerto Rican. I came from a Puerto Rican household. My mom, it was a single mother, and there was a lot of superstitions. You're not supposed to break a mirror. If you do, you get 7 years of bad luck. You're not supposed to walk under a ladder. You can't open an umbrella in the house. All these things are superstitions that came down from somebody else. And for the most part, we just take that. I mean, for the most part, most of my life, I believed all of that. I believed that you weren't supposed to walk under a ladder. I believed that you weren't supposed to open an umbrella in the house because you have bad luck. If you broke a mirror, it would be 7 years of bad luck. And all of that stuff kind of lives in here. And you got to clean that system out. You got to clean all those systems out and start like a blank slate to really understand the reality that we live in, and understand that all the stuff that we do as human beings, is most of it is being passed down from somebody else, but we just take it and we run with it. We don't question it. I mean, like I said, showers, brushing your teeth, going to the doctor, all of that. Where did it all come from? Just a simple question. Some of the words we use, where do they come from? How did they get started? And it just brings, like, when you start becoming a little more aware of yourself, you start having all these questions because of the fact that you don't know the answer to it. So it's kind of important to go down that rabbit hole and start questioning all these things, and looking into them and researching them, and asking questions, asking other people around you questions. Hey, why do we do this? And see what they have to say. And most of the time, you're gonna find out some pretty interesting answers to some of them. Some of them is history. Some of them is, like I said, superstition. Some of them is religion. But it's just always good to just question things before you go and get yourself involved in them. That's my rant for this week. Peace. Namaste.